Hi, welcome back. My name is Anna. I post writing videos on Wednesdays, reading related videos on Saturdays. That's at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here are 10 fantasy books I read in 2024 that I think you should definitely read in 2025. With that being said, we're just going to start off really high. If you're watching of my videos, you know I love to have a notebook, or I normally have my phone, my Samsung Notes, because I'm a little bit forgetful. I'm just gonna go through. I had sorted these books out a minute ago because I did like the little thumbnail, because I can't start a video without doing that first. So we're gonna start off really high with my favorite series of possibly all time and books I will be recommending for the rest of my life. So this is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and this is book two. It's a duology, Rootless Vows by the same Rebecca Ross. Now this I rated a 5 star. This I rated a 4.5 star, and this is book one and two of the Letters of Enchantment, and this basically follows Iris Winnow and Roman Kit. It has like the whole rivals to lovers thing going on. They're workplace rivals. They work at the same newspaper, the Old Gazette, and they're both vying for the same job. There's also a war that's currently going on with two gods. There's the Earth God, Dacre, and the Sky God, Enva. Iris's brother is also away at war, and she's been writing him letters, and the letters have been disappearing. She's like she writes a letter and put them in her wardrobe, and then they disappear. And she didn't know where they were going, but then suddenly someone started replying to her. I love that whole. I'll read anything with letters. This is why the romance is very clean. Yeah, it is clean. I don't think there's anything spicy or any smut in this. So if you're looking for a good historical YA fantasy novel, definitely love the world. I definitely love the people. Definitely check this out. I'm gonna put this aside. So my next favorite series of 2024 and my second favorite book of 2024 would definitely be, you guessed it, Fort Wayne. So definitely love this. As a matter of fact, it's a dragons. I'll read anything with dragons. This is by Rebecca Ross. This is book one of the Empyrean series. Here's also book two, because that's also another 5 star read. This basically follows Violet Sorrengail. She was supposed to become a scribe. Her mother, after her father died, decided that, heck no, signed up to become a dragon rider since her mother is the commander. A lot happened, so we get to see her going through her first. There's also a war college called Besguide. There's also a lot going on. Then there's the enemy Zayden. There's her friend Dane. Like, definitely, this is um it is YA. This, it does have like a little spice. I wouldn't say it's not full of spice, but it does have some spice. So if you're someone who doesn't like fantasy with spice, then go in with that in mind. So, and with book two, it basically just picks up right where book one left off. There's a lot of plot twists. So if you love plot twists and suspense, definitely check the series out. We're moving right along. I do have I'm not sure if I mentioned, but that's book one and book two of the Empyrean series. Now, this is why I have my notebook, because I always forget the series that these are a part of. Because back when I used to love reading, they weren't so many series, or maybe there were so many series, but they weren't this popular or something. I don't know, I could be lying. But moving along, we have Caraval, which is book one of the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. Now, if you love, like, I as a kid, I went to like carnivals and stuff like that with my mom. I love the whole the line jump through the ring of fire. I love the entire carnival life, so that was one of the reasons why I picked this book up. I don't know, for some reason I feel out of breath, but I'm not. I know sometimes when I talk really fast that happens. So this just basically follows Scarlett and Donna tell that's her younger sister. So every year Scarlett has been writing to the Master of Legend which is the master of the Caraval, which is legend, and he never responded. But this year, she got letters that she's invited to come participate in Caraval. So she goes, and when she goes, she finds out that her sister is a part of the event, and she has 3 days to find her sister. Definitely love that. That is book one of the Caraval series. I did end up reading book two. And if you read book one and you love it as much as I do, then you're going to want to read book two. Have fun. So we're moving right along. We have Dance of Thieves, which is book one of the Dance of Thieves duology by Mary E. Pierce. I'm reaching for it. I have these books all over the place. This is it. So this followed Jace, who is suddenly thrust into power. He's now his clan leader, and Kazimira, who used to be a street thief. However, now she is a part of the Queen's Premier Guard of Rotten. So she's sent on a mission to go to basically where Jace's clan is and to basically bring back a few people. Secret mission, all that stuff. She and Jace met, they fell in love. It is YA and there is no romance. So if you're someone who doesn't like the smart, I would say at this point, chef's kiss. I'm definitely going to be reading book two. It is definitely on my must reads of 2025. So I'll definitely be checking that out. We're moving right along. We have Siege and Storm. And we also have Shadow and Bone, which is book one and book two of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Now, let me start by saying this is the book that I definitely want you to read, but in order for you to read this book, you also have to read this book. Now, I watched the series multiple times prior to reading the book. That's why I didn't really enjoy book one as much. I felt that there was very little world building done in book one. But as I said, if you're willing to like tough it out in book one, then you will get to book two and you'll get to read. You get to read because they're like book two, definitely. Now, this basically, oh my god, my books are falling. This basically follows Alina Starkov and Mal. There's also the Dark One. If you've been on any side of the internet, he's the one who says, okay, make me your villain. He came from Shadow and Bone. I hope I'm not spoiling it for you. But so I'm gonna show you a picture so you have an idea, because every time I try to explain this, it never comes off the way I want to. So I believe the picture is gonna be like the best. Okay. So you see this map? I don't want to do my middle finger. So this is called the fold or the unsea. That's just one big wall of shadows. And inside that is there's some monsters. I don't remember what they're called, but there's some monsters inside that. However, people have to cross it. Let me check my book again. Because I be reading this stuff like I'm not like I'll read. I'm not really good at names, okay. So if you live in Ketterdam, that's one of the most popular places, the bulk of the people here. Okay. So if you live in Ketterdam or if okay. So if you live on this side, in order to get to this side, you have to go through this. And then oftentimes people are eaten by these monsters. So there's an army, there's a big war going on. There are two armies. There's the Grisha army. These are the power people, and then there's the first arm, which is just regular human beings or mundanes or whatever people without powers. However, our main girl Alina joins the war as a cartographer. So every time like the shadow moves or something, maps have to be drawn. So she's very good at that. And then there's Mal, her childhood best friend, who's also part of the army. So they're going through the shadowy thing, and she finds out that she is Grisha. She summons light. And we get to see like how her life from an orphan to like one of the most powerful Grisha, all of that. The world building in book one, I think that it was a little flat, but if you stick it out, it will get better in book 2. So definitely check that out. We are moving along. Then I read my first reissue book. I've been meaning to read The Secret Life of, and I always keep saying The Secret Life. It's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Now, that didn't happen, but I went to my library like a few months ago and I found some other books by her. So I read this. It is called A Darker Shade of Magic. I insert a picture here. And this is book 1 of The Shades of Magic. And it basically follows Kel, who's an Antari, and that's he basically blood magic. And with this ability, he's like the last of 2 Antaris in their entire like universe. So with this blood magic, he's able to travel between worlds. And in this book, there are 4 Londons. There's Black London, White London, Red London, and Grey London. And we get to learn how magic is different in all of these Londons, and we learn all about the whole Antari and how he may or may not be related to the royal family. We get to learn a lot, and something happens, and he is now having to get to Black London, which is a London that no one goes to anymore. So that's as much as I can tell you without spoiling it for you. And then I also would like to recommend, I think this is the last book in case, because I might have missed something. Right? This is definitely the last book that I think you should read, which will make number 10, hopefully. It is, ta-da! This is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Now, I've known about these books like for a really, really long time, but unfortunately, I had watched the TV series multiple times prior to reading the book. But if you haven't watched the TV series, then now is definitely the best time to read the book and then possibly watch a TV series, or probably never watch a TV series. That's completely up to you. But book 1 basically follows Clarissa Frey or Clary or Clarissa Fairchild, and on her 16th birthday, she suddenly discovers that she has the gift of sight, which is in this world basically means that she is half human. She has angel blood, basically. So she's a part angel, part human. And they are basically demon hunters and they hunt demon. And in one day, she suddenly realized that the life she knows all her life is not actually her life. Something happens, and she's also looking for a mother. Like, and then like her entire world is crumbling apart. And then there's Jace, who's a shadow hunter. Like, I got some really, really nice quotes from this book. Like, Clary can be very unbearable as a character, but I definitely love Magnus Spain, and I love the entire world. As someone who watched the TV series, I was so pissed off that they didn't renew it for like a 4th season, because I really enjoyed the TV series. But I think that you would do yourself a whole lot more, a better justice, if you just read the books first and then watch the TV shows. I cannot tell you what to do. You can only take my suggestion if you want. Now, those are 10 books that fantasy books I read in 2024 that I definitely think you should read in 2025. Now, with that being said, let me know what books you've read last year. I was about to say this year. Let me know what fantasy books you read last year, and would you recommend them? Because I'm trying to read 150 books this year, and for sure I know 25 of the 100 that I want to read, but I want more books. So I'm definitely, and as I'm currently writing a fantasy novel, and a part of my reading goal is to read more fantasy books, because that's a gem. I want to read more in the genre that I write, and I realized that I really love fantasy. Like, I especially love writing it, but I really do love fantasy. So I'm definitely open to any fantasy book suggestion that you have, recommendations. Um, I'm not really a big fan of smut, just to give you like a heads up. So I'll rather like any clean fantasy. As long as the smut doesn't take over the plot, then I'm fine. But if it's gonna take over, if you think it takes over the plot, then that's just a recommendation you can just keep to yourself. Sorry. Now, with that being said, I do want to thank you for sticking to the end of the video. And by now, if you've been watching to the end of the video, you know the outro. So, let's just say together, have a wonderful year, month, week, day, and I always forget, or a minute, second. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's a tear that's going to come out of my eye for some reason. So, with that being said, thank you again for watching and see you in another video. Bye.